Hey friends, how's it going? The movie begins in January 1968, where we meet a couple, Anna and Clive. Anna is gravely ill, not because of sickness, but because an evil entity has taken hold of her, slowly draining her life. Clive, desperate to save her, is deeply troubled. One night, he brings Anna's ring into the hall to perform a ritual. Before it begins, we're shown how the ritual works. Candles are lit around a blank canvas, all the paints are placed nearby, and a personal item of the possessed person is set at the center. Then, the one performing the ritual chants the incantations, summoning the dark entity and commanding it to reveal itself by painting its own face on the board. Clive sets everything up and begins reciting the rites. Immediately, the atmosphere changes. The winds howl, the room shakes, and the paints begin to rise on their own, spilling across the canvas. Slowly, a painting starts to form. Terrified, Clive watches as the image takes shape. It reveals a topless female entity alive within the painting itself. Suddenly, she bursts out and attacks him. Meanwhile, Anna wakes up after hearing the chaos. But when Clive appears before her, he's no longer himself. The entity has taken over, grinning wickedly as it lunges at Anna. The scene cuts right there. The story then jumps 5 months ahead, June 1968. We're introduced to Evelyn and her family, her husband Adam, their son Nelson, and 2 daughters, Janice and little Lucy. Adam works as a carpenter, but business hasn't been going well lately. And while he seems like a family man, there's another side to him. He secretly reads auto magazines and harbors strange fantasies, hiding it all from Evelyn. Next, we meet Janice, Evelyn's teenage daughter. She's moody, short-tempered, and constantly annoyed with her little sister Lucy. Despite the usual family squabbles, life seems normal and happy, until one day, everything changes. Evelyn receives an official letter from the court. Her cousin Anna, the very same Anna we saw at the beginning, has passed away, and in her will, Anna named Evelyn the executor of her estate. This means Evelyn and her family are entitled to a share of Anna's property, along with $10,000 as executor's fee. But Evelyn is hesitant. She knows something terrible happened to Anna in that house, and she fears bringing her family there. Adam, however, insists. Money is tight, and he pressures her to accept. Reluctantly, she agrees. Soon, the family arrives at Anna's mansion. Since Lucy is just a child, she won't be helping with the execution work, and Janice refuses as well, leaving Evelyn, Adam, and their son Nelson to handle everything. Now, in simple terms, being an executor means Evelyn is legally responsible for the property, managing debts, selling belongings, and taking care of renovations. In short, she must represent the estate and its affairs. As they start sorting through the house, they notice numerous old portraits, paintings of Clive's ancestors. But then Evelyn discovers something unsettling, the painting of that same topless female entity we saw earlier. She's disturbed, while Adam and Nelson glance at it with curiosity. Evelyn wastes no time. She orders the painting to be taken up to the attic and stored away. That night, as everyone prepares for bed, Adam tries to get intimate with Evelyn, but she refuses. Frustrated, he storms out and retreats to his magazines. Suddenly, he hears faint whispers and catches a glimpse of a naked female figure, but he dismisses it, thinking it's just his imagination stirred by the magazines. Meanwhile, in her room, teenage Janice notices a creepy barber painting on her wall. She tries to remove it, but fails. Disturbed, she eventually goes to sleep. But in the middle of the night, her hair begins to cut itself, strand by strand. The next morning, Janice wakes up furious at the sight and immediately blames Lucy. She storms into her room, yelling at her. Evelyn steps in, asking Lucy to apologize, but the girl firmly denies it. Later, Adam and Nelson leave to collect supplies, while Evelyn begins cleaning the house. She suddenly notices the lady from one of the paintings moving slightly. Shaken, she convinces herself it's just her imagination and ignores it. Lucy, meanwhile, is running around the house. Evelyn follows her, only to see a door mysteriously close on its own. She calls for Lucy, but the little girl is standing outside. Who, or what, entered through the door? It turns out to be the basement door. Evelyn ventures inside and finds a closet that shuts itself. When she opens it, she discovers Adam's hidden adult magazines. Hurt and angered, she confronts him, but he snaps back, blaming her for refusing intimacy, implying he needed the magazines as an outlet. That night, everyone finally goes to sleep. Janice, still terrified of the barber painting, covers it before bed. But in the dead of night, the painting comes to life, and we see the barber's hands moving, cutting her hair once again. Janice wakes up in terror and hides inside a closet. The cloth covering the creepy painting begins to move on its own. The figure from the painting repeatedly emerges, reaching for her and cutting her hair. She screams and the family rushes in to comfort her. Janice insists that the man from the painting had come out, that the painting was alive. Adam checks but finds no one there. He dismisses it as a bad dream and removes the painting from the room. Evelyn, however, tries to warn him. Something is terribly wrong in the mansion. There is evil here, hiding inside these paintings, though even she doesn't fully understand its nature. Later, Adam hears the same whispers from before, echoing through the house. Following the sounds, he reaches the attic, sensing a presence, and suddenly collapses. The next morning, Evelyn dreams of a mysterious woman urging her to paint. The vision startles her awake. Meanwhile, Adam regains consciousness and notices the same painting of the nude woman, her eyes glowing in the dark. He angles a mirror to reflect sunlight onto it and finally sees it clearly. Acting cautiously, he covers the painting and ties it to a chair with rope, determined not to let it escape. Later, when Evelyn asks where he spent the night, Adam insists he slept in the living room. Soon after, Evelyn wanders into the ritual room and finds the original book that had been used for the summoning. That night, as everyone drifts off to sleep, Adam has other plans. He sneaks back to the attic where he hid the painting. But the moment he uncovers it, the eerie artwork is exposed, and Evelyn suddenly hears footsteps racing through the house. She rushes out and finds a child darting through the house, running straight into the painting. The boy's voice echoes from within it. When she looks back, the painting is blank again, and the boy emerges, fleeing. Evelyn chases him toward the basement, where someone pushes her inside. Meanwhile, Nelson wakes and notices paint colors moving across the floor. As he approaches, one of the paintings seizes him, pulling him inside. He struggles violently until Adam arrives, pulling him free. By now, Janice and Lucy have also arrived at the scene, witnessing the chaos unfold. The family frantically searches for Evelyn and finally finds her in the basement, terrified as she comes face to face with the naked female entity. By now, everyone has gathered, and Evelyn decides it's best to leave the mansion, taking her family back home. Once home, they tend to each other's wounds, and slowly the strained relationships among them begin to mend. Even Janice and Lucy start to rebuild their bond. Despite the calm, Evelyn remains unsettled. She confides in Adam, insisting that something was horribly wrong in that mansion. It appeared that Clive had killed Anna and then himself, but she senses the truth is far more sinister. Evelyn then finds the old book, noticing an address scribbled on it. Following it, she meets a woman who reveals a massive collection of paintings. She explains that in the past, when people died, their spirits often wandered. To contain them, spirits were trapped inside paintings. But this practice had an unintended consequence. Evil entities found a way to move in and out of these artworks. She explains that this ritual had largely stopped by the early 20th century. However, Clive's family had continued it in secret, holding dark secrets of their own. Meanwhile, back at the house, Janice and Lucy are playing in the basement. When Janice steps away for a moment, the boy from the painting appears to Lucy and lures her to follow him. As she does, he suddenly grabs her, trying to drag her away. Lucy screams, and Janice rushes back just in time to save her. While investigating, Janice discovers the same eerie painting of the nude woman from the mansion. It has followed them into their home. She shows it to the others, and Adam examines it closely. Desperate to uncover the truth about Clive's family and the demons trapped inside the paintings, Adam heads to the library to research both demonology and the dark history of the Clive bloodline. That night, Adam tries to destroy the painting by burning it, but Evelyn catches him and warns that it won't work. Once these entities attach themselves to someone, she explains, location doesn't matter. They'll always find their way back. The story then delves into the family's dark history. Clive's great-great-grandfather knew a woman named Cassandra. It is revealed that Cassandra used to come and go from the house regularly, until one day she was killed. After that, deaths and disappearances began plaguing the family. Later, the family's great-great-grandfather and his wife were burned alive in a house, and a new mansion was built on that same site. Members of the family developed an obsession with being immortalized in paintings. They would trap their own spirits inside the artwork, allowing their souls to move between the physical world and the spirit realm, as we've seen throughout the story. Evelyn realizes that Cassandra too was painted, her spirit trapped, and that they now need to return her to her own world. To do so, they require a special item that belongs to her, and Evelyn claims to know exactly where it can be found. Adam and Evelyn return to the mansion, instructing the kids to stay safely inside the house. Meanwhile, as Nelson sleeps, Cassandra's spirit slips back into a painting in his room. When he awakens, he's no longer himself. The spirit has possessed him. Drawn by a dark force, Nelson goes to Lucy's room, where she sleeps beside Janice. He lifts Lucy in his arms and carries her away. Janice stirs and realizes something is wrong, hurrying after him. But before she can reach them, Nelson drags Lucy into the basement and locks the door behind him. At the same time, Adam and Evelyn arrive at the mansion. Knowing the paintings are cursed, they decide to destroy them all. While Adam carries the paintings outside to burn, Evelyn searches the mansion and stumbles upon a hidden room. Inside, she discovers numerous eerie landscape paintings, along with a treasure chest and a key on the floor. Within the chest, she finds a bundle of love letters exchanged between Cassandra and Clive's great-great-grandfather Ivor. Alongside them lies Cassandra's locket, the very same locket Evelyn has been seeing in her dreams. Back outside, Adam returns to collect the remaining paintings, only to realize the figures within them have vanished. At that same moment, those very figures manifest inside the secret room with Evelyn, stepping out of the landscape paintings. They encircle her and begin their attack. Adam, too, is ambushed by the portrait of Ivor himself. He fights back desperately and manages to break free. Racing through the mansion, he follows Evelyn's muffled cries until he discovers her trapped within the walls. He pulls her free just in time, before the entities can finish her. Together they rush outside and set every last painting ablaze, finally weakening the spirits and ending their immediate threat. On the way back home, Evelyn reveals what she's learned. Ivor was once a painter who discovered a way to capture human souls on canvas. When he met Cassandra, they fell deeply in love and secretly planned to marry. But tragedy struck. Cassandra fell gravely ill and died. Consumed with grief, Ivor vowed to summon her spirit into a painting so they could be reunited after death. He intended to join her in the afterlife, but when he failed to end his own life, Cassandra felt betrayed. She never forgave him. As time passed, Cassandra's spirit became consumed by rage. Eventually, she merged with a demon, or rather, she became one herself, a succubus. For those who don't know, a succubus is a female demon from folklore, a predator of dreams who seduces men, luring them into pleasure before draining their vital energy. From that point on, Clive's bloodline was cursed. Cassandra, now a succubus, would possess the husbands in the family and cause their wives to be killed by their own hands. This is exactly what we saw in the opening scenes with Anna. Adam confesses that the succubus had tried to possess him as well. By the time he tries to speak, they arrive home. He hesitates, wanting to tell Evelyn something important. But before he can, Janice bursts in with urgent news about Lucy and they rush inside. Nelson, now fully possessed, attacks Lucy, but Adam arrives just in time. He restrains Nelson and locks him in the basement. Evelyn quickly takes the girls to her car and tells Janice to get Lucy to a safe place. In the chaos, she hands Adam the cloth from which the succubus had emerged. Determined, they prepare a ritual to destroy her. Doors are locked, and they gather every essential item: candles, cloths, the ritual book, paints, and Cassandra's locket. But Nelson breaks free, destroying the power distributor and plunging the house into darkness. In the flickering candlelight, Adam and Evelyn unveil the cloth, now bearing Cassandra's painting, and begin the summoning, calling Ivor, the origin of the curse, the one Cassandra truly desired. Yet his spirit refuses to appear. Confused, Evelyn rereads the ritual book. Ivor can't come without a sacrifice, she explains. Adam steps forward, removes his shirt, and grips a knife. Then he reveals a secret he's long buried. The nude woman they saw in the attic wasn't just a spirit, it was Cassandra. That night, while Evelyn slept, Adam had returned to the attic and found her naked. Overcome by desire, he gave in, frustrated by Evelyn's refusals. He had always relied on magazines for release, a weakness the succubus had noticed, turning him into her perfect target. Consumed by guilt, Adam stabs himself to complete the ritual. Evelyn, shocked and tearful, struggles to make sense of the horrifying scene. After losing a tremendous amount of blood, Adam finally dies. Meanwhile, Nelson, still possessed, pounds on the door, trying to break through. Heartbroken, Evelyn summons Adam's spirit into the painting, believing that Cassandra needs a companion, a partner in love. Adam's spirit appears alongside Cassandra, his sacrifice binding him to the painting, allowing him to coexist peacefully with her. But Nelson finally bursts through the door, attacking Evelyn, still under the succubus, lingering influence. Just then, Janice returns and attempts to protect Evelyn, but Nelson strikes her aside. Spotting a lighter, Janice makes a desperate move. She throws it onto the painting. The section containing Cassandra ignites and burns away, and with it, the succubus vanishes. Nelson is finally freed from the succubus. Little Lucy rushes into the room, and the family reunites. However, the ritual begins to falter, revealing a harsh truth. Adam was not part of Evelyn's bloodline. If a male of the pure bloodline had performed it, the ritual might have worked, but with Adam, it ultimately fails. In the final scene, Adam's spirit can be seen among the collection of paintings in the painted. Cassandra, however, has not returned. Her link to the world has been severed. Evelyn and her children have survived, finally free from the curse. And with that, the movie comes to an end. So friends, that was the story of The Painted. Now you understand the concept. The family's bloodline had a dark tradition of trapping their spirits inside paintings, seeking a twisted form of immortality. But this practice came with deadly consequences. Cassandra, betrayed in life, became a demonic entity, a succubus. From then on, any man who entered the mansion and gave in to desire would meet a fatal end. In the end, when her painting was destroyed, her connection to the world was finally broken. Evelyn and her children survived, at last safe from her wrath. I hope you enjoyed the story and found the movie intriguing. If you did, don't forget to like this video. And if you're new here, subscribe for more. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, stay spooky.